Good day, everyone. My name is Bongani. Now, today I'm going to do a reflection of a class of grade 9 whereby we're doing live orientation. Now, in that class, I introduced a chapter whereby it is called cyberbullying and online safety. Now, what we did with cyberbullying, I started learners with the definition of cyberbullying and also online safety. However, now we had to check again the impact and the effects of cyberbullying in the classroom, the impact that it has in learners and cyberbullying, and also online safety. Now, we came to the lessons, the actual lesson now. Now, with the actual lessons, the lesson had 3 phases in that lesson. The first one that I had the introduction part, whereby I used YouTube videos so that I can gain the mental awareness of students about this critical topic, which is cyberbullying. Now, I also had to gain or understand the impact that it has on the learners about cyberbullying. Now, the learners gave me a positive feedback in terms of the mental awareness of it, and then the awareness in terms of online safety in the classroom, again, on its own learners. Now, we also had the developmental phase, whereby now I had to use Google Docs so that I can get what you call the case studies that address this critical issue about cyberbullying. What we found there, we found a very informative case studies whereby we had to study, and then again I gave learners those studies. At the same time, they came up with questions. Those case studies came up with questions that learners answered. From those answers, I could see that learners were understanding whatever that we're doing. Now, the third part, we had consolidation phase, whereby now there we had to use Canva to promote or even to create the theoretical part of cyberbullying in terms of art and pictures. Now learners demonstrated their creative ability in terms of demonstrating the critical topics, which is cyberbullying and online promoting, through posters. Now, how did I integrate ICT in the classroom? First of all, I used YouTube, whereby learners were able to view the videos of how does cyberbullying affect in the class. Again, I also used the Google Docs, whereby learners were able to answer questions, were able to understand the different case studies that I offered them through Google Docs. Now, Canva allowed them to express more knowledge that they have gained in terms of being in the poster, placing that information through a poster using Canva. Now, we come to the part of how did I use, or what did I use to analyze my activities. I used what you call this SMR tool, which allowed me to have more effectiveness in the class. Now, what is this SMR tool? Firstly, we had Mentimeter, whereby under Mentimeter we had substitution. Now, this acted as a direct substitute for learners asking or raising their hands in class. Now, we're also having Google Docs. Now, this Google Docs, it had an impact on class, whereby learners were able to get their peer feedback from other learners through digital online platforms. Now, we also had Canva redefining. Learners now were able to express their knowledge in terms of cyberbullying through posters. Now, what is the role that I played as a teacher? I assisted and facilitated the discussions, the online classes that we're talking about cyberbullying. Now, what is the role of learners? The learners gave me a positive role in terms of participating in the topic and also assisting in terms of understanding the topic. Now, the reflection of the entire overall class, it says now, most of the learners, they understood what we're doing. I can say the Mentimeter pool showed that 90% of the learners understood what I was teaching them in terms of the positive feedback that I got. I also accommodated learners that were struggling through this Mentimeter poll that showed me the results. So in conclusion, all learners that I taught on that lesson, they clearly understood the topic, but I also accumulated those ones that were anxious about addressing this topic. Through those videos, they will also be able to express their views.